Connect with Ranjan Pai, Chairman MEMG, talking about the overall sweetened deal that has come in for Fortis Healthcare. Thank you for taking the time out. Now, wanted to begin by talking about what exactly is the rationale behind the sweetened deal for Fortis assets. Have you been in touch with the shareholders of Fortis in order to understand or talk about the unhappiness that they had with the previous offer?
Yeah, so, good morning. We post our offer last 2 weeks ago. We got a lot of investor feedback, and I think the investors had three main concerns. One of the concerns was on the structure of the deal. The second concern was on valuation. And of course, the third concern was on the amount of money that we were raising and whether they could also participate. Some of them were keen on participating along with us. So I think the revised, we've heard them, and we felt that we wanted to make sure that we take care of some of these investors because we want them to be with us in the long term. And that's why we'll come back with the revised proposal.
Mr. Pai, are you confident that the open offer acceptance would be decent at these levels from some of your large shareholders? Because I've been interacting with some of the HNI investors and some funds who bought aggressively into your stock in the last 3 months. And the sense I've come back with is that maybe 155 is not something which will excite them.
Like I said, I think we've put our best foot forward. I know that not everybody will be happy, but I think given where the company is and the headwinds in the sector and the amount of work we need to do over the next couple of years, I think this is a fair offer. It answers all the concerns that we've heard from many of the investors, and we've heard at least a lot of them post the announcements last night. We are hearing positive responses.
But have you spoken to your two large shareholders? One happens to be a Singapore-based hedge fund and second is Yes Bank. Are they happy to tender their shares at 155?
See, we have not spoken to anybody. We can't negotiate with any of the investors directly. We have spoken to them in the past and taken their feedback. Like I said, Yes Bank, I think, is a lender who's looking at trying to get out of the stock at the best price. But we hope that this price is better for them compared to the earlier one, and hopefully it will get the support.
If you don't get the necessary support, then would you be happy with owning less in Fortis?
What is that? I'm sorry, I didn't get the question.
No, if you don't get the necessary support from minority shareholders, then what is the plan B, sir?
Well, I think the plan B is we're not in the game. So it's about the minority shareholders supporting this deal and taking this company through. So it's like I said, I've mentioned this all through. It is up to the minority shareholders to vote whether this is the fair value and whether we are the right fit for the company. We had put an offer 2 weeks ago. We heard the impact from what people said. We've taken their feedback, and I think we'll come back proactively and given an offer which at least answers most of the concerns.
Any thoughts on the way SRL business would be treated going forward? Are you committed to keep the SRL business as part of this entity, or that would be demerged?
Well, it's what we'll do after the demerger of the hospital business is when we are planning to merge our holdings into the main Fortis company. So what this does give for the investors is two sets of stock. One is a pure play hospital company, and the other one is a pure play diagnostic company. And usually, I think that will unlock the best value for all shareholders.
Could you just quantify for the benefit of our viewers as to what valuation you are now valuing Fortis and at what valuation you are valuing Manipal Group of Hospitals?
So we haven't changed the valuation of Manipal. We had taken the value of Manipal at the same value that when Temasek had come in a year ago. And Fortis, we are valuing them at, if you want to take an enterprise value, of Fortis would be at 11,400 crores, which would also take into account the money required for the RHT.
What is your, I never got a chance to speak to you after the deal was announced. So I may take the liberty of asking you a very basic question. What is your understanding of the Fortis financials? How clean is the reported quarterly numbers according to you?
See, we haven't got the feedback, we haven't got the audited accounts yet. So one of the reasons for us to stick to this structure was that we understand hospitals, we've seen the numbers, and we've given, I would say, a fair value. I think some of these concerns where investors are saying that we should have paid more would have been, at least more transparent if all the numbers had come out on audited numbers. So all I can say is, at this time, we feel that we have given a very fair value, a full value for Fortis. We think that there is some work to be done. Obviously, there are enough of industrial logic to this. There's a lot of synergies that we can bring in along with Manipal, and that's where we're seeing the upside in this.
You would appreciate that, sir, that stock market investors are also trying to capture that upside. The sense which we are getting from your investors is that, or minority shareholders is that, look, the Fortis group of hospital has now moved to a bigger group now. The group has credibility, the group is efficient, the group knows how the hospital business runs. So why should we be tendering our share at a lower price when we know that the future for Fortis group of companies and Manipal combined entity is not bright but very bright?
Yeah, so I'm not asking them to tender it. I want them to stay with me for a long time, and let's build a great company together. And that's what I would like to say. I don't want people to tender. I want them to stay with us.
Just to understand the procedure now, when do you think the voting from minority shareholder would be due? How long do you think how long do you think the merger process would take? I just want you to explain the timeline to our viewers.
So I think we'll have to call for an EGM, which should take in the next 45 days. And then this is post, of course, the Fortis board has to call for it. And post that, we think with going to NCLT, I think it should take about 9 months, 6 to 9 months.
So you think by in FY19, the entire merger, if provided that you get right acceptance from the minority shareholder, should be complete?
Yes.
But what if you fail to get necessary votes from the minority shareholder? What happens then?
Then Fortis stays on its own and Manipal continues to do what it's done.
But 155 rupees is the final offer and you are not likely to come up with a better sweetener.
No, I think we have thought through this process, and both TPG and us have decided this, and we've done this based on just feedback. It's not based on, we could have waited for somebody else to make an offer and then reacted, but we reacted on our own because we didn't want to have unhappy shareholders, and this is my first stock market debut, and I don't want to get into this with unhappy shareholders.
Fair point.
That is the reason we came up with this, and if somebody else feels they can do a far better job and give a bit higher price, good luck to them.
Okay, and just
remember, we are the only one. A lot of diligence in this company. We've worked on this for the last 12 to 18 months. So we know exactly what we can do with this company and where this company is.
Okay, and Mr. Pai, just to wrap it up with one final question. You said that a lot of work needs to be done and a lot of synergies and financial auditing needs to be done. So what is your assessment of the operations of Fortis? Do you think there are a lot of inefficiencies and you would be able to monetize them and make current Fortis hospitals better by kicking in your experience and your efficiencies?
I think there are a lot of efficiencies when hospitals get together, especially from purchasing power, from the consumables that you buy, from leveraging doctor teams across the network. So there is a lot of synergies that we see, and I'm sure given what is happening in Fortis over the last 12 to 18 months, maybe some of these, I'm not saying that they were not running an efficient ship earlier, maybe they were, but over the last 12 to 18 months, I can see that our cost of buying some of these goods are far lower, and we feel that we can add some of those, we can bring some of those synergies onto the joint network.
Just two more questions, and I promise I'll not extend my appointment with you after that. What would be the ownership of Fortis minority shareholders in the combined entity?
So it will be around 50%, 49.6 or something before the rights offer, and they're giving a rights offer of equal. So if everybody submits and participates in the rights offer, then the shareholding will stay. If not, it depends on how many people, but we are underwriting the entire rights offer in case anybody else decides not to put in.
And Fortis Malhar was also a company which was owned by Singh brothers. Would you have any relationship with Fortis Malhar?
So we have already put an open offer for that, for Fortis Malhar. So it will come along with this.
Okay. And SRL, you are also indicating that once the merger is on, you will take a view on SRL Diagnostics, but that will happen at a later stage. As of now, there is no fresh update on SRL.
So SRL, we will take charge, we will control SRL, will manage it, we'll make sure that we have the right management team, we'll make sure that everything falls into place. And after the demerger of the hospital, we will then merge them into the operating company.
Will Singh brothers have any relationship, any saying in the day-to-day business, or they are now just been reduced to minority shareholders who own less than 1% of the company?
So as far as we are concerned, right now they are not involved in anything. We have not ever since they have stepped off the board, all our negotiations have happened with the management team. I think right now they are not. I think their holding is less than 0.7%. I think.
And you are pretty confident that they are unlikely to. You will be able to get a clean sheet from Daiichi as well in this merger.
Yeah, like I said, the Daiichi case, from what we have heard and from what we have, got the feedback from our lawyers, was more against the Singh brothers and their holding company. I think that Fortis would have been a party to it as long as the Singh brothers had significant holdings in the company. When those brothers have less than 1%, and the company needs somebody coming in and rescuing it, I think it will be unfair for anybody to block this transaction, because it's not going to. The 99.3% shareholders will start suffering. So it's more from that perspective. But I'm not a legal expert, so I'll leave it at that.
Okay, Mr. Pai, on behalf of everyone from ET Now, thank you for patiently answering all our questions. I wish you good luck for this merger, and I'm surely the sweetener what you've added, minority shareholders will take notice of that.